What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's a big thing. It's a little later today. We still got it out today. I'm glad we did. Glad we got it out a little later today because had I done it on the regular time this morning, I would have missed the news. Apparently, in the first script, Darth Maul was running around trying to chase Obi-Wan. Well, a lot of people would have been really happy with that. And then there was some behind-the-scenes stuff that made it not happen. And then there's other people who say, nah, he was never supposed to be in the first place. What the hell was true? What wasn't true? Who the hell knows? We also have Harley Quinn. The animated spinoff is coming. That was, I think, announced by HBO Max. Batman did really, really well. Once again, in the theater. Parents are pissed off about Disney Plus putting more adult shit out there. R.I.P. to the great legend William Hurt, and at the time of this recording, the great Scott Hall, WWE legend, is being taken off life support, and at the time of this recording, has not passed, but I don't know. But we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Pay honor to both the great gentlemen. All right, listen. We got a lot going on here today, and do me a favor, if you can, subscribe to this channel. If you haven't done it, show a little, will you? Subscribe to us, hit the like button, hit the notification button, all that stuff. It's very, very important. It's very important, and it helps out tremendously. But it's going to be a fun show. I'm taking some of your questions at the end of the show also. So let's get into it. It's me. It's you. It's the big thing. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's a big thing. It's Monday. It's late. But hey, maybe I'll give you something to do tonight. Something to watch. Something to listen to. I'm excited because there is some stuff to talk about. I'm going to read this report right away. Let's just get right into this Darth Maul thing because that is the big thing of today. Let's talk about it. There he is. Darth Maul, ladies and gentlemen. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. And it comes from, who the hell wrote this thing? Boris Kitt and Aaron Couch. Okay. Obi-Wan Kenobi will include plenty of familiar faces when it debuts May 25th, but one Star Wars fan favorite will be notably absent. Darth Maul, who was a chief antagonist of Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan, who first appeared in Star Wars Episode 1, is not expected to appear in the series. But sources tell the Hollywood Reporter not only was the Sith Lord initially slated to return as a key villain, actor Ray Park was in active prep to reprise Maul. That, however, was before those scenes were scrapped amid a creative overhaul that ultimately saw other antagonists, including Darth Vader, added to the show. Hossein Amani was the original writer who worked with Deborah Chow on the 6-episode series, and while it was reported that pre-production paused in early 2020 because Lucasfilm was unhappy with the scripts, the reasoning behind the pause was a little more layered. According to sources, Deborah Chow showed scripts to Star Wars stewards Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, who were coming off the success of The Mandalorian, freshly launched in November 2019, and deep into work on Season 2. Sources noted that Filoni and Favreau were concerned about Obi-Wan covering similar grounds as Mandalorian, the lone wolf and cub-like story of Kenobi coming out of hiding to protect a child-aged Luke Skywalker. Maul was one of the villains who had participated in the hunt for the pair. Vader was nowhere to be found in this faraway galaxy at this stage, according to those with knowledge of the project. Also, Filoni and Favreau pushed Chow and the show to go bigger, according to several sources. In any case, those concerns made their way to Lucasfilm head Kathleen Kennedy, who pressed the pause button. So Joby Harold was eventually hired as the show's new writer. It's unclear how far along the process It's unclear how far along in the process things initially unraveled. A boy was chosen to play young Skywalker, but no scenes with him were shot. As far as Park's Maul goes, the picture is more cloudy. One source says that Park was on set for pre-production and was also involved in stunt training. The source says that footage of Park may have been shot, although another source says it could have been test footage. Whatever the case was, Park was back as Maul, or so he believed. In the overhaul, Maul was written out. One source says it was Filoni that conceptually keyed in on a way for Vader to be brought back as the big bad, with the Grand Inquisitor, a character made popular by Filoni in the animated series Star Wars Rebels, also put into the story. A Lucasfilm source contradicted the account, saying Maul was never intended to return for the series. The overhaul also led to a search for a young Skywalker, and a new actor was picked, THR has learned that the new Luke is Grant Feely, whose only credit, according to IMDb, is an episode of Creepshow. Maul stands as one of the most popular villains in Star Wars lore, appearing in animated series including Clone Wars and Rebels, which depicted the final battle between Maul and Kenobi. Maul returned to live action for a cameo in Solo that suggested there was more for the actor to do, and Solo bombed, scuttling those plans. But soon, fans speculated he could appear in Obi-Wan, which never made sense to me. I never speculated that. I don't think that's too fair, given that Maul was responsible for the death of Obi-Wan's master, Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn. The first trailer for Obi-Wan launched March 9th and gave viewers a look at McGregor back as Obi-Wan. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so that's it. All right, lot to break down here. Lots to break down here. All right, so as far as Vader never being in this thing, I don't buy it for a heartbeat, for a second, for a smidge, whatever the hell you want to say. I don't buy it. Now, the TV show portion of it, maybe. The script, the original script, the movie script that came out, which they don't mention, Vader was in that thing for sure. Now, the question is, once they turned it into a series, did they decide to start going in another way, which is very possible. And you never know at this point when people confirm or don't confirm and say, no, everybody lies. Andrew Garfield, who I love, everybody lies about what's real and what's not and what they want you to know and what they don't. So much to go over here. Lots to go over here. Hell, we could do a whole show on this, to be honest with you. But let's start with that. They let's say that they did write this in. What I think that potentially could have happened is if they wrote Maul in, Filoni's probably going to say right away that doesn't make any sense how he's in there. Why is he in there? He shouldn't be in there. You should take him out of there because we set up that he doesn't find Kenobi for a bit, and plus at this point he is he's probably running through the crime syndicate or whatever he's doing. So that's part one. Now part two, I'm gonna try to clean this up. It's slowing down for me for some reason. I don't know what. Let me try to see if I can clear some memory off this thing. Everybody, hold on a second. I don't know why it does this sometimes. Sometimes it just kind of slows down on me. I think I just have a lot of I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff. But that's all right. That's all right. Let's do this. All right. I'm going to go this. I'm going to go this. And I'm going to cross my fingers and hope I just didn't delete anything that I needed to delete. All right. Hopefully that works. Okay. So, by taking him out, it doesn't make a lot of sense to do that, to put him in the show because of Rebels and everything that was going on with Rebels. We set it up in Rebels that he finally found him after years of searching, and then he's on Tatooine and knows to put him in there at that point. The lone cub thing I understand, and I'm glad again if this turns out to be a true story, I'm glad that they had that note because who the hell wants to see that again? And just Obi-Wan, like that was the thing that when people would bring that up to me, like, oh, Obi-Wan's just got to stay on Tatooine, just look after Luke the whole time. Ugh. That was boring. Who the hell wants that the whole damn time? I love the idea that they're combining Rebels and the Inquisitor and Vader and all that together. That makes sense. So it was, look, and what people aren't doing here that they should be doing is giving Kathleen Kennedy some props if it is indeed the case that she said, hey, let's not go through this again. Why don't you guys figure this out? Let's pause. Let's calm down. We have the pandemic that's going on right now. We can breathe. We can take a second to not rush out this series. Chill. Figure it out. Come back. And that is potentially what could have happened. I don't know. But the fact that Maul was ever in this thing, I'm glad that this is an overall good thing in general for what is happening now with the television series that was never happening with the movies. Because now there seems to be an overall team, and obviously, and Deborah Chow, who I don't know if I've been as excited as for what she's doing, and I think again, I don't know how true any of this shit is that they're reporting, but if let's say a lot of it is true, and she didn't just say, well, this is what we're doing. This is what we're making. She went and she said to Dave Filoni and Favreau, who she trusts and she's had great rapport with, what do you guys think? What's your overall thoughts about this? I respect you guys' thoughts and opinions on it. What do you think? And if they came back and said, well, it's similar to the thing, you want to switch it up a little bit more, and Filoni was like, what do you put the Inquisitor in there and instead had Vader in there? Do you think that could work? And then does that work for what you're thinking, your vision-wise? And they all sat down. That's where this team of creatives working, where Star Wars fans go, oh, okay, we got that again. Because we haven't had that in a long time. It was like, JJ, make your movie. Ryan, make your movie. JJ, make your movie. And the one guy who was actually tying stuff together, or the other stuff put together, got fired. So this is a good thing. I think it makes no sense for what was set up for Maul to be in it. I don't want Maul in it at all. I love Maul. Want to see him more so in Crimson Dawn and see how they're going to play that. That is going to be great. That's going to be great. So if they ever do that, Crimson Dawn, to do that whole series and set that up from Solo, that's how I always wanted to see any of that stuff play out. Because that was the most interesting part of Solo, I thought, for me, was that Crimson Dawn syndicate and all the stuff that they set up with Kira at the end, and to build Emilia Clarke back on TV, but in the Star Wars world, that'd be great. But to have him in Kenobi, it doesn't make any sense. We know where it ends. We know what happens and we know how. And to have them just kind of shoehorn in another battle. See, I know some people will argue with the fact that think that that's what was set up with Vader. See, I don't think that. I think there's a lot of open-ended stuff that they had, especially in Revenge of the Sith. In Revenge of the Sith, Padme says to him, there's still good in him. Now, at this point, Obi-Wan thinks that when she says that, Obi-Wan thinks she's just burned up and dead. So he's like, I don't know much good. But then if he wakes up, snaps out of it and goes, oh, holy crap, my friend's still alive. And his wife told me that there's still good in him. I gotta figure that out. I gotta sense it. I gotta go see. Then that plays into Return of the Jedi. There's still good in you, Father. I can feel it. Obi-Wan once felt as you did. Well, when? And for people arguing, say, "Oh, he felt that when he went to go get him. He was going there to kill him," and Padme knew it. At what point did Obi-Wan ever feel there was still good left in him? Until Padme said that to him in Sith. So that's why that angle makes so much more sense to me. And I don't know if we're ever going to find out what really happened behind the scenes. As far as I thought that would. From my understanding was that's what the script of the film was going to be about, and then maybe they came back to it. So I don't know. Maybe they switched it up more. But I know that when Kathleen Kennedy announced this thing at, what was it? Was it D23, I think? She said that it's going to be like that epic rematch. So I loved the trailer. I think the majority of people who saw it, I mean, there were some people who didn't love it necessarily, and people are bitching about the Inquisitor's head. Who cares? It's a head. It's a head, and it's like, that's the kind of shit where who cares? If the character's good, who cares? It's like, it's for people who are introduced to him the whole time. If he looks really ridiculous and it's just a big round head, and you can't look at that stupid head the whole time. You're just looking at his dumb head, then yeah, that'll be distracting. But if he's menacing, who cares? Pinhead or not. And so I was like, well, the species in Revenge of the Sith, it's skinny heads. Everyone, you don't know a human with a big fat head and a human with a skinny head. Fat heads and skinny heads. Who cares? So either way, interesting report, good report, a Hollywood Reporter there, and showing I think it says a lot. I think it really does say a lot about the team and the way that they look at things and the way that they're tying things. Where they ultimately landed is a good thing. For at least from the trailers anyway. You haven't seen the show, obviously, but from the trailers, combining the original trilogy, the prequels, and the animated series, all three of them look like they're all intertwined. That's a thing I've been hoping for forever with Star Wars, and it seems to be coming to fruition. So could turn out to have been a great change, could have turned out to never had been a change in the first place, and it was just not a real report. As far as Ray Park being there, I mean, look, he's been part of the Star Wars family for a long time, so maybe he was helping out with some other things. Was he actually playing Darth Maul? Was he in some potential flashback scenes with Darth Maul? Was he actually a character in Darth Maul? Who knows? I don't. Do you? That's from the great Dom Herrera. So, anyway, let's move on. Before we do, I do want to tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen. I know that I've told you once before. I'm going to tell you again. MyBookie. I'm glad to be working with MyBookie. Just started working with them recently, and I've been happy about it because March it's here. You guys know that. And the madness has begun. It's time for you to shoot your shot and score big on the nonstop action with MyBookie. Predict winners in each round of the MyBookie bracket contest for a chance to win a Bitcoin, a Doodle NFT, currently valued at over $50,000 and over $100,000 more in cash prizes. Whether you're filling out multiple brackets, betting the national championship winner, or simply looking for player and game props, MyBookie has you covered. Sign up today with MyBookie and use that code BIGTHING to make your first deposit, earning a free entry into the MyBracket contest. Selections for the bracket will officially begin on March 13th, and it's going to close on March 17th at 12 p.m. So make sure you get your deposit in now with Big Thing to secure that free entry. Use that code Big Thing. Go to MyBookie, sign up. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. All right, as I mentioned to you guys, there's a lot of stuff to talk about today. There's a lot to talk about. Maul's one of those things, obviously. There's Harley Quinn. Yeah, man. She got some stuff going down. And the big thing that was going on with her is HBO Max is reportedly developing a spinoff of its acclaimed animated Harley Quinn series titled Noonans. Well, that. Announced as part of the Not Kidding Around Warner Brothers Animation and the reimagining of iconic characters for an adult audience panel at South by Southwest, Warner Brothers executives and Harley Quinn co-creator Patrick Shoemaker reportedly teased the spinoff, which is still early in development. Should it go forward, the series would follow Kite Man as he buys Noonan's bar, a dive bar hangout for the hitmen and henchmen of Gotham, Shoemaker says. He tries to run the bar by himself, but it doesn't turn out so easy. We have Harley and Ivy appear in the first episode, but after that, we have different goons and villains appearing every episode like Lex Luthor and Bane. It would be kind of like Cheers for supervillains. Shoemaker also teased a bit about the third season of Harley Quinn, which will include an episode that's a big love letter to Batman, the animated series. We even got some original backgrounds for the show that we used in the episode. In addition, James Gunn will be making an appearance in the upcoming series as himself. In the show, he'll be directing a movie about Thomas Wayne. That's awesome. That comes from Slash Film. Okay. So, all right, here's the thing I will say about Harley Quinn is that I hear it is just an amazing animated series. What I can honestly say is I have not seen it yet. I know everybody tells me how much I love it and how much I should check it out because it's right up my alley and it's kind of off the walls. So I'm on board with checking it out. And I'm also on board if it's popular enough and you guys think it's a good switch up to make it a spinoff. Go for it, man. DC knows what they're doing right now. It's really their stuff is working, and their stuff is funny. And it's that fact that James Gunn's going to pop into the series and stuff it's hilarious. But I love this. I really do. I like what they're doing at the moment, and obviously you guys have seen all my Peacemaker reviews. Maybe you've seen them, but I reviewed Peacemaker, got a chance to talk to Freddie Stroma. I think, and that's the comedy side of it with the Suicide Squad and then the Batman. I think the setting up that new structure, they're in a rhythm right now. So I should really check out Harley Quinn, the animated series, and now they're doing a spin-off as well. So their animation obviously has been something that's been working for them. Now switching from Harley Quinn to that's something else. Do that later. Sorry about that. What's the next one? Next one we got here. Oh, I got to talk about the Great Razor Ramon. Talk about Scott Hall. Let's talk about that. We'll probably go back to back here on. This bummed me out, man. I think that I saw something recently. I'll tell you, we got to be honest with you. I was a little it kind of brought back bad memories with Schnepp, to be honest, because he had a hip replacement or something. They did a picture of him when he said he had a hip replacement. I'm like, all right, he's gonna be all right. Just gotta get a hip replacement. There's complications from the damn surgery or whatever it was.
Realtor.com's Draw on Map feature helped us find what we want.
In the middle of talking here. Assholes. But yeah, it was here's what happened. Scott Hall, WWE and WCW star, is going to be taken off life support after having major health difficulties.
Thanks to Realtor.com's
listen, you guys,
alerts, we found this awesome new condo fast.
And we moved
Stop.
in so
I don't want to hear your ads.
We're already having our
Stop
neighbor
it.
Kyle over for dinner.
Shut up.
I am jealous.
Have some respect. Fuck. All right. Ad pops up again. It's the last time I ever go to this site. I'll tell you that. Pink Villa. Back to the report. Sorry about that. All right. Scott Hall, WWE and WCW stars, will be taken off life support after having major health difficulties, according to his friend Kevin Nash, who received the news on social media, who revealed the news on social media. According to the professional wrestling newspaper PW Torch, Hall is on life support after complications from hip replacement surgery earlier this month. Hall, unfortunately, also had 3 heart attacks on Saturday night. Fuck me. Oh, man. That's horrible. Kevin Nash, Hall's longtime friend and pro wrestling colleague, announced on Sunday night on Instagram he'll be taken off life support once his family is in place. Scott's on life support. Once his family is in place, they will discontinue life support. He further wrote, I'm going to lose one person on this planet I've spent more of my life with than anyone else. My heart's broken, and I'm so very fucking sad. I love Scott with all my heart, and now I have to prepare my life without him in the present. As per People, alongside his distinctive toothpick between his lips, Hall cemented his position in pro wrestling history with Nash when they joined forces with Hogan to establish the New World Order, commonly known as NWO, while at WCW. The villainous alliance aided WCW's popularity in the late 90s, momentarily elevating the business to the top attraction in pro wrestling. After WCW was bought by WWE, the two would continue as members of the NWO. Hall was inducted into the WWE's Hall of Fame twice, first in 2014 and again in 2020 as a member of the NWO. Oh, man. That's terrible. Pretty terrible. Scott Hall, a.k.a. Razor Ramon, definitely my childhood and college. And I mean, he was monumental, as they mentioned, with, in the early WWF days, or not early, but in the WWF days, he was such a big figure, taking that Razor Ramon, kind of taking his persona from Tony Montana and just having a great run over there. And then as he left, and for those people who are not familiar with it, there was a big war with the WWF and WCW. And when Razor Ramon, who was really Scott Hall, when Scott Hall went over to WCW with Kevin Nash, they did this big angle, man, and it was like that because it was kind of you don't realize it as much too. It was so unheard of that you would ever even see a WWF talent on WCW television. So, and those guys were massive stars. So when they showed up, you do yourself, even if you're not into wrestling or you're into it now and weren't into it back then, just do yourself a favor and search when Hall and Nash crashed WCW. It's just such an iconic moment. And then this big Bash at the Beach moment when Hogan, who was like the ultimate good guy, joined those two guys and formed the NWO. It was a big moment, and there's some iconic moments, and it's crazy how it's just like that, man. Life, it's like I told you, it just brings back a lot of shitty memories, and to have, you just has to have hip replacement. And he's just had a lot of, I think I'm not gonna. I don't know how accurate I am in this, and I know that he had some substance problems and things, but I think that he had started to clean himself up a while, and he'd been pretty good for a bit, and I just think that his body is probably just taking a lot of hits, and then going through this surgery and through the surgery, and winds up having 3 heart attacks. My heart breaks for his family and for Nash and all those people. I mean, you knew how close those two cats were. So that's a bummer, man. It's a bummer. It sucks. So, I mean, again, at the time of this recording, he hasn't passed, but they're gonna take him off life support. So, Yeah, the great Scott Hall. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. And I'm sorry to be bummer for everybody out there. I'm sorry. Scott Hall, though, man. Let's move to some happier news. We'll move to some happier news. How about that? It looks like we're going to get a new director on Deadpool. Scott Levy, right? Is going to be taking over. So, Sean Levy, sorry. I was like, Scott Levy, who am I talking about? You say things and you say it wrong. In your head, you're like, no, that's not right. But Sean Levy, sorry. Sean Levy is directing Deadpool 3. This is an interesting point of news, and Deadpool 3 has been in development for years now, and today the superhero film finally took a major step forward with the announcement that Sean Levy will be directing the project. The choice in director is significant, given the star that Reynolds has worked with Levy now on last year's hit comedy Free Guy and The Adam Project. The latter film released on Netflix. Reynolds shared a photo of his character from his previous 2 Levy films, Adam Reed and Free Guy, with Deadpool. They are, let's see, do I have that? I don't have the picture. It's whatever. Let's see. They are in the same blue tinted field from the Adam Project's poster, and on the Twitter, Reynolds said, "The third film in my Sean Levy trilogy will be a tad more stabby." And Reynolds' signature sense of humor is shining through his posts, as both his two films with Levy have been more family-friendly ventures. The Deadpool franchise has been one wild ride, blah, 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 blah. However, since the merger, Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Feige, talking with Collider, had rest assured fans that that would not be the case, that it would be brought down to PG-13. The film will be rated R, even though there are no plot details yet. Levy has built quite a career. Okay, so anyway, I think this is really good news, and I'll tell you for a lot of different reasons. One, I haven't seen Adam Project yet. I've been trying to get my freaking family to watch it. No one to watch it with me, and I tried to watch it with. I thought my daughter would definitely want to watch it, and she didn't want to watch it. And my wife was like, this isn't for me. She liked Free Guy, but it's like, I guarantee she's probably going to wind up liking it. But I'm going to watch the damn thing anyway, and then I'll do a review of it. But I am going to watch it. The hell with these people. I'll watch it myself. Anyway, really liked Free Guy. Really liked Sean Levy a lot. And I think that this is good because they're rapport. And it also just show how much power Ryan Reynolds has too. Because it's like, Tim Miller was part of it, and then he wasn't, and it's like, I think that this is going to be a big movie, obviously, for Levy. I think that by being able to switch it, going a little away from the family friendly, but they have a good rapport, the two of them. Reynolds knows the character very well. I think that he's going to pretty much be co-directing too, which is fine. You want him to kind of co-direct on this thing. This is the third one. He knows the character well enough. This is a passion project for him. He loves it. And I think Levy's going to be the guy to kind of come in and help with this. So I think this is great news for the franchise. The bigger question is, as they mentioned in Collider Report, is where's it going to land as far as what? PG-13, R? It can't land at PG-13. People will lose their minds. And I'll tell you, if they would have started the franchise off at PG-13, fine. But they didn't. It was the first two were hard R, Reynolds, Feige, they said, no, it's staying R. And I think with the introduction now of this Disney thing that we'll talk about in a second, too, the fact that Disney's going to start putting on more rated R stuff on their platforms with just different, ways that you can access it, I think it makes sense. And they should do it that way. The question is, how much does it blend into the other MCU stuff? Don't know. But that's good, though. I think that's a good pairing there for sure. All right, what's next? Well, we got him already. I don't need him. We don't need. I was talking about Darth Maul, not Scott Hall. We do need him. We need him to stick around. Just hate that story. All right, and here's another one that I don't like either. William Hurt. William Hurt passed away. And I don't even know how William Hurt passed away, to be honest with you. I'm not sure, but he was Oscar winner William Hurt. Passed away at the age of 71, pretty young. According to a statement from his family, he passed away from natural causes. 71? Was surrounded by friends and family at the time. Just a few years out of drama school, Hurt made a screen debut with the lead role in Ken Russell's famously twisted 1980s sci-fi feature Altered State, which led to a string of roles that that decade, and plenty of films still famous today. Body Heat, Big Chill, Gorky Park, The Accidental Tourist. He scored Oscar nominations that decade for his work in Children of a Lesser God and Broadcast News, along with the winning Best Oscar for Kiss of the Spider Woman. In the 1990s, film including Wim Wenders' Until the End of the World, Woody Allen's Alice, Anthony Minghell's Mr. Wonderful, Wayne Wang's Smoke, and Franco Zeffirelli's Jane Eyre. Hurt also made a detour into more commercial fare with Nora Ephron's Michael and Alex Proyas' Dark City. Love him in Dark City. Dark City's great. Leading to the 2000s with AI, Changing Lanes, The Village, Lost in Space. The mid-2000s saw a renaissance. A History of Violence, Syriana, The Good Shepherd, Mr. Brooks. What a career. And Into the Wild. And then Marvel films, The Incredible Hulk, Black Widow, Civil War, and so on and so on. Robin Hood, Winter's Tale, The Host. I mean, this guy's he was in so many movies. On TV, he was in Damages, Too Big to Fail, Moby Dick, and so on and so on. So, yeah, man, 71. I don't know, natural causes, but that sucks to lose him also. So the last couple of days, man, losing some legends. William Hurt. I mean, it's funny because those are the first movie, and you heard the resume of great films that he had in his career, but I always think of Dark City. I love Dark City. I think Dark City is a very underrated movie. It was The Matrix before The Matrix was The Matrix. It was the first Matrix, and it's a great movie. I love that movie. And yeah, he was in that. He was the cop in that movie. So yeah, William Hurt, man, that was a bummer when I saw that one, and then followed that up with Scott Hall. These last 2 days have been shit, but yeah, I always condolences to his family, and it's sad when you lose. It's like, it also just shows you getting older, man. In general, these people that you watched when you were a kid, it's like, life gets you. All right, moving on. Let's move on. All right, let's see what's next. We did that. Okay, that's here's this story that I wanted. That we're speaking of Disney and parents getting all pissed off about the shit going down with the. I don't care. I'll tell you right now. And I got 2 kids. I talk about my kids all the time, but this is a report about this is for Garth Franklin over at Dark Horizons. The Parents Television and Media Council, which is a conservatory group founded to bring back responsibility and family values to the entertainment industry, has issued an open letter in regards to this coming week's change to Disney Plus services in the United States. Months ago, Disney Plus updated parental controls for its global service outside the U.S. due to the inclusion of the Star section with Disney Plus, which allowed for adult content to be shown from Hulu, FX, 20th Century Studios, and more. Now, those updated parental controls are coming to the U.S. in time for the service's update this coming week, which will see various Marvel series like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and they're going to join the Marvel section of the app. This will mark the first time that TVMA and borderline rated R content will be included in the service in the United States. Borderline rated R? What the hell are you talking about? Daredevil is super rated R. Anyway, until now has generally been regulated to the company's sister streamer, Hulu. In the letter, the group slams Disney's decision to release mature content on what has been marketed as family-friendly platform and amusingly asks what comes next, adding live striptease performances in Fantasyland at Disney World? Come on. The letter goes on to explain their main issue with this move. While we applaud Disney Plus for improving their parental controls, the mere presence of mature and rated R content violates the trust of families and may well turn them off entirely. There is no need for Disney Plus to compete with the explicit content on other streaming platforms. What do you mean there's no need? What are you talking about? There's no need. You're running a business. There's no need. Are you looking at their returns? What are you talking about? Don't say that. Don't say that. Disney is already at a competitive advantage with a streaming platform that is the safest one out there for families. It's a foray into TV. Mature-rated fare will forever tarnish its family-friendly crown. I guess I understand where you're coming from, but I mean, come on. The shift to include rated R fare hasn't hurt the services overseas, where the inclusion of Star with its adult content has increased the subscriber numbers. Yeah. There's been speculation that once Comcast sheds itself of its share of Hulu in 2024, then Hulu may be incorporated into Disney Plus app in the U.S. the same way similar to how Star is overseas. For now, Disney Plus is gearing up for those Marvel Netflix series. Yeah, man. I mean, come on. I get it. I get it. Super conservatives inside of that side of it. And it's like, you know, you want to protect your kids and everything too. But like, this is, and I never say this type of stuff. This goes to parenting. My kids know not to turn it on. Kids know there'll be hell to pay if you turn it on. It's not for you. You got all this other stuff. You don't turn that on. That's not for you. And then you monitor it. And I know it's not as easy for everybody, and kids can find a way to sneak it. And sometimes more parents are maybe they're not around, and they're figuring, okay, now I got to worry about what my kid's watching But look, this Netflix, is these other things. It's like, that's the thing that bothers me of what it said in that letter. It was, don't tell them how to run their brand. Like, what are you talking about? It's like they're doing the same thing other places do. Like, Netflix has tons of kids stuff on, and I get it. It's like, well, Disney has been known as the family-friendly thing. They're not allowed to change their structure. They're not allowed to change what they want to do. You don't have to subscribe to it. You can unsubscribe to it, and that's your right. But don't tell them like what to do, and it's going to tarnish it. Clearly, that's not true, because they're, as it's proven in overseas, they're picking up subscribers, and that's the goal. I don't know. I mean, maybe you guys are on the other side of it. I don't know. I don't have an issue with it, and I'm a parent, and I'm very protective of my kids and what they're watching. But this doesn't bother me. This is like my kids aren't gonna watch it. They're not gonna watch that stuff. Anyway, I don't know. Very curious what you guys think. Go ahead. Let me know. I want to know. Tell me. Yes. All right. Some other stuff. This is one that, speaking of which, if you want to talk about stuff that some people are watching you didn't know you could watch and all of that, I'm pumped about NordVPN, because for me, it's the security of me, my family, my crew, my audience. It's always very important to all of us. And one of the main reasons that I've been using NordVPN is that it's fast and it's a secure service. So what it does is it significantly boosts your online privacy and your security. So what NordVPN does is it enables or encrypts traffic on both the web and mobile, that you don't have to worry about using an unsecure website or an app. It's pretty great, especially if you're running around, if you're on the road. And now that we're doing studio events and all these types of things, and we're out a lot, it's refreshing to me, because I'm not worried about who's doing what and behind a unsecured network on a public Wi-Fi network. If I have to email somebody, or if I'm managing documents, or if I'm talking to people on social media, I know that my phone and I know that my laptop, it's secure, because that's what NordVPN does. It makes it very easy to switch your virtual location. Just one click. You can access streaming stuff we were just talking about that's available in different parts of the world, or Netflix overseas. You can just go to nordvpn.com/bigthing. Head on over to nordvpn.com/bigthing. I'm very excited about it. So we're very excited to be using them. So make sure that, I don't know how much you guys know about them, but if you want, you can grab your exclusive NordVPN deal by going to, and you have to use that code BIGTHING, get a huge discount off of your NordVPN plan, plus one additional month for free and a bonus gift. It's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. You got to use that code BIGTHING, or go to nordvpn.com/bigthing. I have a couple more stories, I think, and then I'm going to take some questions from you guys. It's been a fun show thus far. What's the next one? Oh, Spider-Man. It's another thing. You talk about things getting leaked and things moving around, and this is a smart move, I think. They're moving Spider-Man to digital release, which is good, because I've been trying to find some shit for my wife and I to watch. She wants to see this movie, and it's finally coming out tomorrow. So in the wake of Pirates pushing a high-quality HD version over the weekend, Sony has opted to move up the digital release of Spider-Man No Way Home by a week. Instead of March 22nd, it's now going to hit tomorrow, March 15th. Unlike most cinematic universe titles, Spider-Man No Way Home will not be available on the Disney Plus service at this time, since the distribution rights are with Sony. Fans will be able to purchase the film through Apple, Amazon, Google Play, Vudu, and more. The 4K UHD Blu-ray and DVD hasn't changed and is still weeks away, April 12th. Well, I'll be watching it tomorrow anyway. It's smart. Get ahead of it. Get ahead of it. Get it out there. Put it out there for people. You know, if it's available, if you have it ready to go, go. They're not going to hit that, whatever is it, the billion, whatever it was. I don't know what they were trying to get money-wise. Either way. Yeah, smart move. What else can we say? It's a smart move. Good move. So we'll watch it tomorrow. How about you guys? You going to watch it tomorrow or no? Are you going to be watching Batman again? Because the Batman is crushing. Absolutely crushing. If you didn't know that. Batman is annihilating right now. $400 million in second weekend. Boom. And a 3-hour movie? That's good. That's real good. And has no direct competition. So, and Turning Red went to Disney Plus, and The Adam Project is on Netflix. So the box office remained fairly unchanged. Matt Reeves, the Batman, held on to the domestic crown with a further $66 million. It's down just 41% from its debut, which is a better hold than most comic book films. It also pulled in much again from overseas. After 10 days, the film has pulled in a very strong $238.5 million domestically, and it crossed the $460 million mark globally. In fact, domestically, it has already become the second highest grossing film of the past 2 years, behind only Spider-Man No Way Home. In second was Tom Holland Uncharted with 9.2 in its fourth week, bringing its total to 113 domestic and over 300 million worldwide. It's not bad for that movie. The numbers come as the film has just been banned in Vietnam due to its inclusion of a map depicting contested territorial claims over the South China Sea. Third was the concert film Behind the Scenes, Permission to Dance on Stage Soul, which snagged $7 million. The Channing Tatum-led Dog was fourth with 5.3, and Spidey closed third, out in fifth with 4.7. The movie's still making $4.7 million, and it's coming out tomorrow on digital. That's great for the Batman. Almost $500 million already. 3-hour movie. That's good stuff. You're definitely going to see another one. I am still bummed about the idea that we're going to wait like 4 years or something before the next one. I hope it's at least 3. I mean, 3. I think 3. So, yeah, Batman's crushing, man. It's doing really well, as we knew it would. But it's and now it's moving on. Matt Reeves has got himself another hit. I'm excited for that one to hit on HBO Max, because that's a movie I want to see again. And I'm very curious to see, now that I've seen it, if the length of the film is going to bother me as much as it did the first time I saw it. Because, like I said, I don't really have a lot of complaints about it. I have like 2 complaints. And then the same thing, I want to see the ending and see how the ending's going to pan out for me. All right, before we get one more for you. This one's going to be fun. You guys, we've talked about this one. Hey, now. Uh-oh. Get ready. It's JOYMODE time, everybody. Because don't you lie. When you're walking around that gas station after losing your minds that gas is like $1,000 a gallon now, and you go in, I'm gonna go get something to eat. There's a Snickers bar or something. You walk in there, and then you're looking at those pills on the side. And you see those erection pills, and you're looking. You go, oh, I want to try one of these. What's going on? Let me try one. And you all have looked at it, thinking about it, lying bastards. And the problem is, if you ever look what's really going on in those products, they're really terrible for you. This goes for a lot of the stuff that's on the market that claim to help dudes in bed. But who the hell wants to run around with a hard-on for 4 hours? You got nasty side effects, you got heart problems, and a possible trip to the hospital to get rid of it. Hey, I can't get my prick down. You don't want that. Wouldn't you rather take a supplemental that is designed to spice things up naturally rather than a prescription drug that can have a harmful effect down the road? JOYMODE is here to save the day. It doesn't matter if you're happy or unhappy with your performance in the bedroom. Just perform better. JOYMODE Sexual Performance Booster is like a pre-workout, but for sex. You go to great lengths to biohack your way to better mental and physical performance. Well, what about the bedroom? JOYMODE makes natural and science-backed sexual wellness products for men. Their Sexual Performance Booster is like a pre-workout, and it's for sex. Now, it's pretty easy to take, too. You just tear open the sachet and mix it with 6 to 8 ounces of water, just like your favorite electrolyte packet. For best use, you just consume anywhere from 45 minutes to 4 hours prior to sexual activity, and you'll notice better blood flow, better erection quality and firmness, and increased sexual energy and drive. If you want to spice things up in the bedroom and boost your sexual performance, you do it naturally without any nasty prescription drugs. We have a special offer for the Big Thing audience. You go to joymode.com/bigthing. And you enter Big Thing. I mean, is that appropriate or what? At checkout for 20% off your first order. Use joymode.com/bigthing for 20% off your first order. Thank you to JOYMODE. All right. You thank me for that one. Significant others can thank me too. Okay. Let's get to some questions. My Facebook page, if you haven't gone there, the link's in the description. Go to the Facebook page, and that's where I ask for some questions. We'll start with this one. Stephanie Litz. I have a question. I have an answer. Will there be any behind-the-scenes episodes for the taping of the new MTS episodes, either the matches or the storyline videos or both? P.S. I'm really loving everything with the new season. Thank you, Stephanie. The answer to that is yes. So one of the options inside of the Patreon that we have, patreon.com/Schmoedown, it's not every month, but there's going to be a behind-the-scenes video that will probably, similar to what we did, we'll take the footage of certain stuff, mix it all together, and add some of that flavor so you can get it behind the scenes. We have to figure out which taping day we're going to do it for, because the way we do it now, we tape on like a Friday and a Saturday, and we tape a ton of matches and have all the storylines and put them all together, and we have another shoot coming up soon. We may do the behind the scenes for that one, not sure yet. But yes, the answer to that is absolutely we will be doing that. And thank you so much for watching the new season. For people who have not been watching the season, please do it. Go to the Schmoedown YouTube channel, and let's say if you're a wrestling fan, it's Monday Night Raw or Dynamite, but instead of wrestling, it's movie trivia. For people who are not wrestling fans, it's a fun television show with good characters and good drama, but with all the trivia being real. It's like a soap opera, man. Ryan Field, would you want to see an Obi-Wan season 2? I also sent you a DM about making a sign for your studio. I didn't see the DM, but I will say I'm terrible with DMs and Instagram. I have Instagrams from like 4 years ago that people send me Instagram messages, and I looked and I saw some like 4 years ago. I responded to someone. They were like, "I don't even watch your stuff anymore. I don't even know are you still alive?" So yeah, I'm still here, man. So anyway, Obi-Wan season 2. So I did a report on when I was talking about, I think on the last big thing that I did solo. I saw that that was one of the news stories that Obi-Wan there's potential that Kathleen Kennedy said they could work on it and they could do it. Like, if we're going off of the report that we had earlier in the show, make sure you have the right story. And if they intended it as a one-off, don't just push it because the ratings are good. There's tons of other stuff that you can do that will work, and start to play off don't just worry about Obi-Wan because everyone loves Obi-Wan. If the story's done, then end it. Don't do it. However, if the story's great and there's more to tell and you really can tell more of it, then I would love to see a season 2. But if I'm watching it, I'm like, I don't really know if they need a season 2. Like, I don't need a Boba Fett season 2. Like, why? Why? I don't care about a Boba Fett season. I'll watch it, but I don't care about it as much, I don't care. But we'll see. But I'll watch it, and hopefully I like it. All right, thank you for that. Dean Lewis. What up, Dean? Celebrity impression dating game. Could we ever see it come back in some form? I still think it could be its own successful show like Schmoedown. We talked about doing that at one point. I think somebody wanted to buy it from us, and we didn't want to. Mark and I didn't want to sell it because we would have lost ownership to it. But then we were going to do more stuff similar to that, but we just didn't have the production power right now. We just don't have the bandwidth to do it. But and inside of this studio where I'm doing Big Thing, which the goal is to still rehaul this whole studio. I don't know, maybe potentially to do the dating game if we can figure it out. It was a fun bit. It was one of my favorite bits that we did, and what I liked about it was that everybody except like a few people that came in as guests were really shitty at the impressions. That's kind of what I liked about it. But you never know. It's possible. It's possible. All right, let's keep going. Dennis Amy, do you think we'll see Leia in Obi-Wan series? Yes. I think it's a guarantee. Take it to the bank. Yeah. Because of the Jimmy Smits rumor. If Jimmy Smits is in it and they're showing young Luke, they're going to show young Leia. I bet you he goes to Alderaan, and I bet you he winds up. Yeah, he winds up seeing her. I think so. They're going to probably keep it quiet, obviously, as they should. But yeah, I think that's. I think if you're going to take any bets, 2 bets that I would, Liam Neeson and Leia. Those are the 2 that I think are probably guaranteed. Luke Studdard, listening to all the Schmoedown After shows recently, what have been things you've enjoyed listening to the shows and constructive criticism you hope for shows to improve on? I don't want to give you guys the only thing that I would say that I've reached out to a few people is I would just change particular thumbnails, and I've even had to do that for my shows. So people know, especially the Schmoedown community, right? If you want the Schmoedown community to know that you're doing after shows, just leading with like an obscure title, even if it's a clever title, like I don't know, deception happens in the studio! ! Without the name of what's happening or those types of lines, it's hard to lock people in if there's not a good thumbnail or something. But reactions were the things that I always looked for when they were happening. And my thing with reactions, the same thing people tell reactors of everything, is don't talk over it too much, especially if you're not watching it. That drives me nuts when people are watching, they're about to watch the scene and then they start cracking like personal jokes as they're and they're not even watching the scene. I'm like, why are you reacting to it then? That drives me crazy. But other than that, no. We talk about some of the. We just did a pre-tape for Bateman for Backstage. It's going to air this week, and we talked about the after shows. And for me, I watch the after shows or listen to the after shows more so for. And I love that everybody analyzes the game and goes into gameplay and all that. I don't listen to that stuff as much because I'm there for the games and I see the games, and I'm not. It's for me. It's not about the. I like to know whether it's the storyline stuff or characters or inside of the sport aspect, who people think should play next, who they want to see match up against each other, those types of things. I love that stuff. That's the stuff that I listen to, the speculation, the conversations, and I listen to. I've been listening to the Let's Get Ready show, Any Given Schmo Day, and they do phone calls on their show, and I love that because I love listening to the other Schmoedown fans calling in and having like these passionate conversations about. So, okay, let's see. Next one. Mike Joyce, do you think Deadpool 3 will connect to the MCU in some way? I do think it will connect. I don't think we're going to see. There's so many conflicting reports about the Doctor Strange, whether or not he's going to show up. People say definitely not. People say maybe he will. Maybe there's a post-credit scene that he shows up in, which is possible. But I don't know. I'm gonna air. Excuse me. I'm going to say that probably he doesn't show up in that, but I will say that he will connect to the MCU somehow, whether it's now with this new version of X-Men or not. I think he will. All right, I think we got a couple more. Evan Bistrom, better sequel, Raid 2 or John Wick 2? Great question. Love both of these movies very much, but I'm going to say that Raid 2 is the better sequel because all 3 of the John Wick movies are pretty. They get bigger for sure as budgets will do, but there's something I think that this Raid 2, the story is significantly richer than the first one. The first one's awesome. It's a great movie. It's a great action movie, and it's a great. The gimmick is go to each level and make your way all the way up and fight different bosses on the way up, and it's like a video game, right? Second one's a straight up like gangster Godfather type. It's a gangster movie as much as it's a martial arts film, like straight up gangster film, and they have that aspect in the first one as well. But I just felt that the second one I actually like Raid 2 better than I even like Raid 1, which I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion or not, but I love that movie. And the John Wick 2 is a great sequel, but they're all 3 of them are somewhat similar. which isn't a bad thing. But there's something about Raid 2 that just is it's a very special sequel. It's one of my favorite sequels, I think. All right, last one. Madi Yoriman, who's some of the comedians that you looked up to when you were getting started? Well, thank you. I mentioned, it's funny, I quoted Dom Herrera this morning. I watched this Rodney Dangerfield, my friend Victor and I, when we were kids, we watched this Dangerfield special all of the time. And like when Dice blew up, Dice was on there. We watched Dice, and 12-year-old kids laughing our asses off at Dice. Or shit, no, we were younger than that, man. You're probably like 10 or 11 watching that, yeah. Anyway, so Dice was on there. Dom Herrera, who I mentioned when I was on Collider Live, we used to play that clip of, I don't remember the poor guy's name. It's an illusion. Fuck you. I'm fooling you and you don't like it. Fuck you. But Bill Hicks was the guy who stood out to me right away. And he's just such a prolific. He was so good, man. He was so good. But my biggest influence as a comedian, the all-time number one was George Carlin, no doubt. Robin Williams, Bill Hicks, Dom Herrera. They were all guys that and Richard Pryor. They were all guys that I really enjoyed watching a lot when I was a kid. But Carlin was the first one. My late friend Brian Cascia was the guy who introduced me to Carlin, and I remember just being in awe. It was Carlin at Carnegie. It was 1983. That's not when I watched it, I don't think. I watched it on I don't know where. I must watch on VHS. I had to have. He had a Laserdisc, but it wasn't on Laserdisc. And I don't know how old I was, but no, it certainly wasn't. It wasn't 1983 when I saw it, but it was an older. The tape was from '83. Anyway, I remember watching him and hearing that kind of language, and I just thought on TV at that point, and I thought he was just like, oh, this guy's nuts, and he was so funny. He was so goofy and so silly, and I watched every HBO special that came in and that popped on HBO that came out of his. I watched it, and I used to watch a lot of those one night stands is what they called them. And I remember seeing Damon Wayans and all of those. I used to watch them all the time when I was a kid with my dad and with my friend Brian. But anyway, yeah, those are the comedians. All right, memory lane it is. Okay, listen. You're brand new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, do all that stuff, please. A lot of great stories here today. Again, rest in peace to William Hurt. I hate to say rest in peace to Scott Hall. Yeah, but legends, man, legends. Anyway, thank you guys so much. If you haven't checked out Friday Night Titans, please give it a chance. If you never, if it's one of those things like, I don't really, movie trivia is not my thing, just give Friday Night Titans a chance and see if you can get it attached to the characters and to the storylines. Putting my heart, soul, the production team is putting their heart and soul, everybody, the talent, everybody is really putting their heart and soul into this thing, and we really want you guys to check it out if you've never seen it before. Give it a shot. Just type in Friday Night Titans into the YouTube search. It'll pop up, and I'll just put an iCard up here as well, and it'll be one of the last videos that you see. When the videos pop up, it's probably popping up right now. Friday Night Titans episodes 1 and episodes 2, they're up now. Episode 3 is coming in. Sam Levine is coming back to play, and he's playing the Barbarian in a #1 contender match. That happens on Friday, so please go and check it out. All right, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. All right, we'll see you Sith Council on Wednesday. Big thing Thursday and Friday. All right, peace.